Wow. These are horrible times. We're talking about times that are full of despair, frustration, agony, grief, pain. We're dealing with a pandemic, the coronavirus, taking loved ones, friends, family, neighbors. We're dealing with income, insecurities, jobs walking away, unemployment, people not knowing how they're going to survive, how they're going to get by, the uncertainty of not knowing where the next dollar's coming from, and having to rely on a government that you don't altogether trust for that to happen. And we're also dealing with The View, a show that shouldn't be on TV, run by jackals who should not be allowed a platform but are. Bernie Sanders appeared on that platform yesterday. He sat down virtually with the host of The View, and he tried to have a conversation about the coronavirus, about unemployment, about helping Americans, about Medicare for all. Now, bear in mind, Bernie Sanders going on The View, that's dangerous. I liken it to diving into an ocean of shark-infested waters, smelling like breakfast. Or going to the hood 3 o'clock in the morning, going to an ATM, withdrawing a lot of cash, and then holding it up and looking over at a bunch of guys with bandanas and sweatsuits on and hoodies and going, "Hey guys, the machine's working. Hey, it's working, it's working, it's working."
I have to ask you this question now because
that's what my producers told me I had to do. And it's written on the paper here that I'm looking at. Because I'm a scumbag sellout, and my job is to destroy any progressive that comes on this show who dares to challenge the establishment. That's my job, that's who I am, and I make a lot of money doing it, and I don't regret it for a second. Mama gotta eat.
I've been watching to see what you were going to do, and I'm told that you intend to stay in this race.
You know, it's so obvious that Whoopi Goldberg's been handed a script. I mean, is there any person with an IQ above 20 who reads that slow? Come on. You could go fry an egg waiting on her to finish a sentence. It's almost as incoherent as Joe Biden.
This feels a little bit like it did when you didn't come out when Hillary Clinton was clearly the person folks were going for. So can you explain why you're still in the race and what this path is that you see?
One of the reasons, that's not quite accurate. I worked as hard as I could for Hillary Clinton. But the reason there is a path.
Bernie, just so we're clear, you worked for Hillary, but it took you a very, very long time to hop in, and your people also. It took a very long time for them to hop in. So when I say that, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't accept that characterization, but the point is, people have a right.
Why are you still in the
democracy.
race?
People have a right. Last I heard, people in a democracy have a right to vote, and they have a right to vote for the agenda that they think can work for America, especially in this very, very difficult moment. It's April 1st. It is likely possible there are millions of people who cannot pay their rent, cannot pay their mortgage.
Yes. But wouldn't it be smarter for you to continue on that path to make sure that gets done?
Well, we are doing it.
Believe me, I am doing it.
I'm sitting in my house right now. I'm not holding a rally in Wisconsin. What I am very worried about
so your plan is to stay in, yes?
Your plan is to stay. Said that we are, well, for the fourth time.
You're assessing.
We are assessing.
Okay, all right.
We are assessing.
Very good. Sarah, you have a question.
That's despicable right there, guys. That is low down and dirty. This is horrible. And you know, it's sort of like a pattern of what I've been seeing. I'm sure you've seen it as well, where corporate media, cable media, talking heads like Whoopi Goldberg on sellout shows like The View, nonsensical garbage media, where they have a proclivity to treat us like garbage and then ask that we be civil, that we treat them nice. Yes, they can shun us, berate us, disrespect us, even our Senator, Bernie Sanders. Look how she treated Bernie here. She'd ask him a question and cut him off. Talk down to him like he's a child. He's a public servant, lady. What service have you done for the American people other than to stuff your pockets with money? What have you done? If Bernie Sanders would have treated her with an iota, and I mean an iota, a smidgen, a speck of the disrespect that she showed him on this show, we never hear the end of it. But as I stated, they get to treat us horribly, and we get to take it. And they get to complain when we complain about their treatment. When we complain, with this video right now, just pointing out how horrible Whoopi Goldberg treated Bernie Sanders on this show, a sitting senator. There will be people who support Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden in my comment sections on my Twitter complaining that I'm complaining about them. They don't like the way that I stuck up for Bernie. They don't like the way that I stood up for him. Bernie Sanders believes that Americans want the right to vote. They're Americans. What happened to the whole people died for black people that had the right to vote, Whoopi? What happened to that? Oh, now that you got Joe Biden in there, Mr. Rape allegations hanging over his head, Mr. Can't finish a sentence, Mr. We think he's hopped up on some type of narcotic to keep him upright. Now we can just end the process and all you good black folks don't need to vote. What does that mean, Whoopi? How disrespectful is it for you rich bastards to feel that us poor folks shouldn't get a right to exercise our right to vote? Whoopi Goldberg is she's just another one of these talking heads who you can't trust. And what's sad about it, the most pathetic thing about it is, in order to reach their viewership, you are forced to succumb to putting yourself in a position of having to listen to their ignorance. Bernie Sanders supports Medicare for All, which obviously would help many people. Those people at home who feel ill but aren't sure what it is, who, just because the government will cover the cost of testing, what if the tests come back negative? What if you're sick and you have the flu and you go to the doctor? How do you know the difference between the coronavirus and the flu or some other ailment? So people who don't have insurance are staying home longer because they can't afford to go to the doctor. Who can afford to go to the doctor now without insurance? Whoopi Goldberg neither cares, nor understands, or appreciates, or respects us. The lack of preparation on behalf of Whoopi Goldberg to the sincerity to actually put forth a decent interview, any background check at all would have showed that Bernie Sanders isn't campaigning right now. Bernie Sanders is busy working, but he's still in the race, but he's not campaigning, and the money that he's raising is going to help people who need it during the pandemic. It's to help these organizations, nonprofits that need the help, that need the money. But Whoopi doesn't care about that. All she cares about, similar like with Hillary, is that you get out the way so Hillary can hurry up and lose. Hurry up and be done. It's that type of attitude that got you Trump. And it'll be that type of attitude that gets you more Trump. And when it happens, I don't want to hear shit from Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar or Sunny Houston or whoever this other lady is. I don't even know who she is. Or any of these water-carrying establishment creatures who make so much money, have no recollection, no care, whose jobs depend on carrying that water. They don't care about us. They don't care about the issues we care about. If you did, you'd understand the importance of Bernie being in this race to continue the conversation. And at a critical time like this, Medicare for all. And you cannot understand that medical care is important. We pay twice as much as any other country in the developed world for our coverage. And we don't get the best results. Twice as much. Our health care is tied to our employer, and now that we have close to 10 million people out of work, Whoopi still doesn't understand the importance of a Bernie Sanders still keeping the conversation going about Medicare for all in any way that he can on the platform, the largest stage in the world, or in the country anyway. Though you and I understand what I'm saying and you get it, it's ironic. It's ironic that all of this reason and logic cannot penetrate the skull or the psyche of an elitist whose bubble is so thick they can't hear shit we say. But you'll hear us. Oh, you'll hear us. When the young people don't come out for Biden, when disaffected voters don't come out for Biden, when the enthusiasm level is low, lower than a Barry White slow song, Johnson, then you'll get it. Then you'll understand, and then you'll blame Russia. And then you'll blame the guy you just shit on, Bernie Sanders.